Hello and welcome to this quick tip in ERDAS Imagine. My name's Emily and I work here at Geospatial Insight. So I'm using Imagine 22 that was just released, but this will all work in the previous version as well. And the majority will work all the way back to 2016. Okay, so I've got an image here. It's just Sentinel-2 data in false color infrared. You can see the ice patterns on this lake here, which is rather pretty. Lots of snow. This quick tip is just going to run through how to subset by a shapefile in Spatial Modeler Editor. Okay, so I've got a quick access button for my Spatial Modeler, but you might want to go into Toolbox, Spatial Model Editor. Right click to add this to your quick access toolbar if you wish. Okay, so I'm going to drag in my input. You could also just raster input and then edit the file name. Okay, so in order to do this we need our features input, which is our shapefile. And then we need to change it to a raster type in order to turn it into a mask. So if I convert to raster. This will need some cell information, so that's pixel size information, and we're going to take this straight from our input, so we don't need to amend that anytime we change it. I have a square pixel size, so I can add both X into height and width, and we get the units here. As well. Okay, so that's now just turned that into a binary raster file. So we see one plane, so that is just one band. Okay, and now in order to apply the mask to the original image, we can use this apply mask operator. You'd want true here if you wanted to mask out your 0 values from here rather than your 1 values. As it inverts it. Okay, we want our original raster. Make this a little bit bigger for you. Okay, so what we have now is a masked image. So let's have a little look. To frame, and here we have a nice little Christmas tree shaped Sentinel-2 here. Happy holidays everyone. Okay, so as you can see when I fit frame we do get a lot of no data here. That's because it's retaining the size or the extent of the image of its original data. That's not very data efficient. So we're going to tell Imagine to remove this before it outputs. So what you'd get now if you output straight away is just the large dataset. This file below with all this no data and your cutout area there. But to make this a bit more data friendly, what we're going to do is add a bounding box to our Christmas tree. And this will, by the end, cut the extent to a square around the Christmas tree rather than cutting or masking the data itself. Okay, and now we're going to convert to raster just as we did with our Christmas tree mask. I'm going to use the same cell width and heights as previous. One thing it is good to do is set your data to no data before doing this so that Imagine knows what areas are null in your images. Okay, and we're going to use the define processing area operator to specify that we want the extent of the file to be the size of this second raster, not the first raster. And double click this. I'll get a GUI, there we go, and I want to, same as input, raster 2 for my window size. Now if I run just this with nothing connected to the outside, Now our image is 1600 by 1500, whereas previously we had almost 10,000 by 10,000. Okay, so now we just preview our cut data. I fit to frame. Yes, we get a frame that is exactly to the size of the Christmas tree with no trailing space around the image. So if you output this now, you just need a raster output to specify a file name, and then you are good to go. One quick tip, in 2022, a new feature shows which operators are GUI capable, so which operators will pick up another window if you double click them, like this, is if your cursor changes to a point, a little hand pointing over the top of them. So this one you can see it remains the normal mouse icon, pointer, pointer, which means I can click this and get a GUI. Which is a nice quick way to see if there's extra options you might be missing on your operators. Okay, that's all for today, and I hope you enjoyed this little festive version of our tip videos.